That's super interesting. So let's look into this. I have an admin building, media building, finance building. But when I hover over these floors, I get to see the department names. I can click on any one of these and it opens up into a floor plan. I can see who's in and who's not. The green ones are the people who are in office. The red ones are out of office. The yellow ones are on a break. If I click on conference rooms, you can see all the conference rooms. Hi, this is San from Value at Void. Me and my team, we are working on a really nice project these days. It's called Workee, and I'm here to talk about that. So let me begin. As you guys can see on my screen, this is the welcome screen for the interactive prototype that we have built. Now we are here to demonstrate how the Workee user interface works and how we have planned to take it ahead. We have sign up onboarding as function 1, login as function 2. So these are some basic functionalities that you would need for any application, right? You need to get your users on the app, right? Give them a functionality to log in when they want at a later point of time. Then you have design your office. So Workee is essentially a 3D virtual space that looks like your office, and you can interact with it the way you would interact with your office, right? In a physical environment, the way you would interact. The same you can do here in the virtual world as well. So we have design your office, we have invite your colleagues, project management, conference rooms, lookup, drop files. These are essentially all the functions that we created for this version of the UI mockups. Bare bones, what all a user would need, we have incorporated all of those here. So let's take it up from the first step. So sign up and onboarding. So this is where it starts. The yellow part that you see here is essentially the prototype controls. So you can use it anytime to go back. You can click on home and it takes you back to this screen. So this is what you can use when you have to browse through the prototype. So let's start with sign up again. Click anywhere to start, and then the Workee logo, and it starts loading up, and it shows you an option of logging in or signing up with LinkedIn directly. And you can, if you don't want to do that, you can just fill in all of these details, and we've just made it very intuitive. So you just click it once and it fills in all the details for you because it's a prototype. We are showing you the process, right? And then you sign up for free. You'll get a verification email. You fill in the code here, you click on verify, and then you just fill in a few of your details, click on next, and you move ahead. Now, as soon as you're done with this, Workee requires a lot of integrations from your existing apps. So the mails that you're using, talent management softwares that you're using, your music that you listen to, project management tools, a lot of other features that you use on a daily basis, right? Softwares and applications. You can link those to Workee and get to use those applications from one central hub. So let me show you how we do that. So you can start grabbing any of these, right? So we have given a few examples here. So for example, I want to link Google Calendar. I'll click on that. It shows me what type of integration is this? How is Workee going to integrate with this? And it asks you to log in. And once I click log in, it does that process. It might take you off the page, make you put your username, password, log into the application that you want to integrate. And once you're done, you get to see this page, right? So it's like a welcome message of its own, and then you click next, and it gives you a brief splash screen, right? So these are the two ones that we have. So this is a building view that you're going to see in the future steps, how you can see your office building in a 3D virtualized space, right? So you'll get to see the building you work on, then you get to see your own desk, and there's another view where you can see the floor. So we have all of those. So this is a splash screen trying to give your user or you a brief about what all you get to see at a later point. So once we start, it welcomes us. We just signed up, we put our details into this, it welcomes us and shows us the final interface. Now this is how the interface looks like, right? Once more, we go to login. Login has the same process. We put in all the information here, you hit on login. If it requires a verification, it will have that as well. And then it welcomes you to the dashboard of your app. right? Now, after this, what we have is we have design your office. So now we are assuming people have logged in, and it can be one person or multiple users who have signed up for this app. Now there are two things they can do here. One is they can design their office space. So the way you have your physical office, you can design the same here into the virtual world. And once that is done, you can start inviting people. So that's the second function, right? So these are two sub functions that we have inside this. So let me walk you through that. So they can design their office, right? You click on design your office and you get multiple options on the settings. You design your office again. So first things first, you get to name your building, right? So you can have multiple buildings across the world. One can be in New York, one can be in Bombay, Stockholm, London, right? So you'll start with one. So let's say my primary building is going to be called media office, media building or something, right? I'll put that, I'll put a department into it, I'll use some team names into it. I'll choose the first team strength, right? So we'll start out small, right? We'll start with a 6-member team. Let's create that. So it gives me a block which has 6 tables accommodated into it, right? So it's an open office 3D layout, right? So you get to see one central team with 6 tables inside it, and then you can add more on top of it. And before I show you that, let me show you how the organization structure looks like on the top left. So media building, when I click on it, it shows me what all departments I have. So if I've already logged in, if it's been quite some time that I'm using this app, I can see the entire organizational structure in a visual manner here, right? So I can click on any of those floors and make changes. Let me show you the one that we have here. So I added a UX team on the first step when I was designing the office. Then I click on the add button here and it adds another block for me, right? Once I give it a name, you can see Sans team has already been mentioned here. So I can choose a 6-member layout or a 12-member layout. So I can click on 12 members and see how this thing expanded, right? This base plate of 6 employees actually expanded to a 12-member. Once we are done with that, we hit on save and it shows us the visual layout of what we just created, right? So we created a 12-people team and a 6-people team, right? So those two teams are visualized and are shown on the screen. Let me show you the next one. Then we can invite our colleagues. So our office space is done. We have already built a new office and we can create multiple buildings and everything. Once that is done, I want to accommodate all of my employees, my colleagues or whoever, right? So I can get people to join this platform. So I can click on invite colleagues. We can invite with email or we can invite with a link. A link will just give you that, the link that you can copy and just move ahead with. Just link copied and you can paste it on whatever platform you use, or you can invite them with an email. So just put their emails here, invite this person, send it, right? So you can also assign all the roles and you can change those. You can have your team, you can give an admin level privilege to someone, you can give moderator or editor and something like that, right? So once this is done, I can start. Yeah, so once this is done, all of the invites are sent to all of the email IDs that I have added. And once that part is done, we can get into the core of this application. So project management is one. So you can assign a quick task. You can go to a quick task, you can put the title in and just create the task, right? You can put the timing, date and everything the way you would do on any other one, right? You can mark a task complete like this. So you see, once I hover over these elements, it just shows me if it is done. If I want to mark it complete, I can click on done and that task is completed. You get notifications like this and it goes away, right? Now let's move on to the next one. We just did function 5, that was project management. If we go to the next one, that's function 6. This is a very interesting one. So we have conference rooms here. Conference room, let me show you, let's dive into it. Right, so you create a conference room first, you click on quick task, you click on an event, you fill in all the details, you put the time that when you want to, the date when you want to have this conference, then you select a from and a to time. Add some guests if you want. Let's say we have added some 15 people to this conference room. You create a conference room, give it a name, hit create, set reminder and hit create again. So this is how it creates a calendar input for you, and it creates the conference room for you. Now, how do you access a conference room or a building or a floor, right? And that's super interesting. So let's look into this. So once we hover over these floors, right, it shows me all the different names of this. So you can see I have an admin building, a media building, a finance building, right? But when I hover over these floors, I get to see the department names, right? Video department, digital department, and all of those. So I can click on any one of these and it opens up into a floor plan, right? So now this is the floor plan. All these cards that you see here are all the people, the teams, the blocks, the departments, right? So I can see who's in and who's not. The green ones are the people who are in office. The red ones are out of office. The yellow ones are on a break or something. And then if I click on conference rooms, it slides into a section of this layout where you can see all the conference rooms. So let's say we want to pan, right? This area here, you can click and drag to pan. So if I click and drag, it should show me it should pan this floor plan so I can look around properly. I can zoom into one of those. I can see, okay, these are the conferences that are going on. These are the people who are attending the conferences, right? So let's say I want to join this one. I can click on it. I can click knock and I can immediately join the conference, right? It can be a Zoom meeting, it can be a Google Meet or anything, right? Workee does not reinvent the wheel, right? We are here to integrate all the applications into one single platform, right? So once you log into a software or once you go away from Workee and you are on your Google Meet, for example, right? You will get a Workee widget on the side, which you can click and get some options on the same software that you're using. So essentially, you don't have to go away from your software. You can keep using Asana, you can keep using Jira, and yet get to use Workee's some basic features immediately from there. And if I click on the logo here, I directly go back to my Workee interface, and from there I can continue assigning more tasks or a bunch of other tasks there, right? So if I close this, I can go home. So we have covered 6 functions already. Now there's a function of lookup, right? So if you're in a setting and you want to find a particular employee, you want to know where that employee is, right? So you can just search for that employee and it gives you a visual result immediately. So once I click on the search bar on the top right, it expands and I can put in, let's say if I want to search for Kelly, it puts in like I can type it here, I can type Kelly here, it shows me a few results, right? So Kelly Hanks, Kelly Fourier, and Kelly Patrick's, right? The yellow, green, and red dots, they hold the same meaning, the one that the meaning that they had on the floor plan. Yellow means on break, green means available, they are in office, and red means they're out of office, right? So you can select one of these. Let's say I select the second one, right? So it shows me their desk. Now this is pretty interesting, right? The desk is actually very intuitive, and you can do a bunch of tasks there, which we'll see in the next function. So notification, status update, and drop files, right? So if I show you drop files, it shows you the desk view from what you would see as a user when you're visiting somebody else's desk, right? So it's me, San, I'm visiting Kelly's desk, right? What would I see? I would see a lot of images in the background that Kelly has uploaded, right? A story from Kelly which depicts where she is. Maybe she had a baby, right? She wants to put that up. The way we had these notice boards in our physical office space, and how we put up some postcards or some pictures of our family and stuff like that, that goes here in the form of a story or a picture frame in the background. So it keeps rotating the two things that you see on the top. It keeps going as a marquee, right? And it highlights every different picture every once in a while. So that's you can see Kelly's name, Kelly's status, whether she's in or not. You can see a bunch of badges here, right? So these are the badges that were given to her by her colleagues, by her manager, maybe the CEO of the company. People who wanted to appreciate Kelly's work, they gave her these badges, right? And same goes with the skills that Kelly has, right? So at the bottom you can see Microsoft Office, Excel, Word. So these are the skills that Kelly has. has. And if I want to appreciate it, I can just click on the plus button here, and I appreciate that. I endorse one of her skills, right? And it shows you a count here. And there's a workboard here. Workboard essentially shows you what Kelly is working on right now. Kelly can decide what all stuff she wants to show and what she doesn't want to show. And then there's a drop your file here, right? So once I click on it, I can just drag and drop a file here, and it starts uploading. So once it uploads, once it gets completed, you get to see the final message, right? So let me show you that. So once I upload it here, 96%, then I can see, okay, 2 new files were uploaded, right? Once this is done, from on Kelly's end, Kelly can see what all files people have shared on her desk. So Kelly has a different view from her desk. Let's see where that is. Okay. Calendar, event. I can create an event. I can put the title to it. I can again put the dates. Let's say I choose the 19th here. Then I choose the from time to time. I can add some guests if I want. I can add those here. I can set a reminder, and then I can hit create, right? So this calendar gets created here, right? I can also delete an event if I want. So I just click on delete. I hover over it and it shows me the delete function. I can delete that here, and it gets deleted. It shows me a notification, then it says please wait while we redirect you. And the next function is notification. So in notifications, we can actually show you when people share a file with you, when they drop a file on your desk, you get a notification, and once you click on the notification, it opens your view. Now, as you can see, it's a bit different, right? You can add new services here. This is the hub where you can access all of your applications that you have integrated with the app, right? So you get to see all of that. You get to see your badges. You can upload your stories here. You get to see your calendar, so you can delete stuff from here. So all of these, it looks different when you are visiting your own desk, kind of like what Facebook does, right? Your Facebook wall is something that's public. Anybody can see it, but the part where you see your news feed, that's the personal space for you. That's a private space for you. So on the same lines, you get to do a ton of other things here. You get to see a feed from all of your applications. You get to see instant messages from your colleagues. So let's say if I've integrated Slack with this, I actually have I'm interacting with my colleagues, and I get those messages. I have some work groups that I get updates from. So all of those are going to go here, and these are the files that were given to me. So once I click on these, it shows me a pop-up and says, okay, these are the 4 files that were shared with me, and I can download each of them individually. And I can also see, if you can see on the top, it says Brian, Kelly, Kevin, right? So I can see who sent me these files, and what is the file name, what is the size, and I can download them individually. Or if I want, I can just download all and it's done. So these are the 10 functions, and one of the, last but not the least, status update. So this is an important one, because this is how your entire team gets to see where you are. So here's the thing, when you are in a conference, it changes to in conference automatically, right? When you have logged out, it changes to out of office automatically, right? When you want to take a break, you can do it manually. When you want to switch from an in-office, out of office, you can do it manually, but a bunch of those statuses are actually handled automatically, right? So let's say we take this example, and Javier here is on a break, right? Javier stepped out for some time, came back in, now he wants to change the status. He'll just click it here once, he'll select in-office, and that's done. That's it. As soon as he does this, he will appear as a green card instead of a yellow card on the floor plan, right? And that's about it. So these were the 11 functions that we just covered. And now if we think about the floor view and the desk view and the building view, right, it gives your employees a very visual space where they can live, right? They can use all of their daily apps there. They can interact with their teams there. They can schedule a conference. They can create tasks. They can manage projects, and a lot of other features, right? And all of this not in the form of plain white cards or some boring layout, right? It gives you a 3D space that you can visualize, right? If I needed to find someone in IT, right, I can just search for IT department, go to that floor plan, zoom into that particular department and say who's available in that department, right? My laptop doesn't work or my email isn't working. I can hone down directly to that department and see who's online, ping them and get some immediate answers, right? So that's where I feel Workee can help a lot of us who are trying to survive, who are working from home not at our own will, right? A lot of them actually are working since so many years, but people for whom the change was too sudden, right? For them it's a bright little tool, right? And in fact it is for everyone. Whoever has an organization to handle, and if let's say if I'm the CEO, right, I want to see where my 7,000 employees are, and I can click on a particular building, go to a particular floor and see who's in, who's not in, 8 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock at night, see which employees are in and who are not, right? So yeah, that's what we have for Workee, and I hope you guys liked it. If you guys have any feedback, any comments on any parts, please let me know. This is the UI mockup for the entire application, and we are constantly working on it day in and day out, and we would love to make some good changes on this and make this app usable for everybody else, right? Thank you so much for your time.